Hey everyone, and welcome to today's Explainer. I'm honestly so excited to dive into this one with you because we're doing something a little bit unconventional today, but absolutely powerful. We are taking some of the most closely guarded, time-tested secrets from the world of software engineering, and we're going to translate them into pure operational gold for your business. Think of this as your ultimate efficiency playbook. We're going to unpack what programmers call creational design patterns, but we're stripping away the code and looking at them strictly through the lens of a manager. But right off the bat, I want you to ask yourself a really honest question. Is your business actually scaling, or is it just bloating? It's a massive pain point, right? Almost every manager faces it. You start out small, your teams are agile, and then you hit a growth phase. But instead of getting stronger and faster, your operations just become incredibly inflexible. Over in the software world, they actually call this spaghetti code. In the business world, well, we just call it a bureaucratic nightmare, where a completely simple request for, say, a new stapler somehow triggers a 15-step approval process. So, to fix that organizational bloat, we're going to leverage creational design patterns. Now, completely forget about software code for a minute. In our managerial context, you should think of these as high-level organizational blueprints. They're basically frameworks that structure your resources, your departments, and your products to guarantee maximum adaptability and scalability. They are the underlying rules for organizing your business so that it can grow exponentially without turning into a chaotic, tangled mess. To give you exactly what you need, here are the 5 sections we'll be covering today. Section 1, Flexible Operations. Section 2, Consistent Branding. Section 3, Modular Construction. Section 4, Scaling Templates. And Section 5, Centralized Control. Let's jump right in. All right, Section 1, Flexible Operations, utilizing a blueprint known as the factory method. Imagine your entire operation is tightly coupled to just one way of doing things, like a logistics network that only knows how to handle trucks. That is highly inefficient. Instead, we want the pattern way. This is an adaptable framework that is totally open to new methods, like adding cargo ships, without breaking your existing workflows. It's the difference between having to literally rewrite your entire company rulebook versus just smoothly slotting in a new specialized department. Let's play this out. Imagine a rapidly growing logistics company. Originally, they only handled trucks, but when the company grew and needed to add ships, total disaster, because the entire system was hardwired directly for trucks. The factory method solves this by creating a central point, a factory, so to speak, that handles the creation of transport. So your broader business just says, hey, I need to deliver cargo, and this factory method decides whether to deploy a truck or a ship. You can even add airplanes down the line, and your broader business workflow doesn't have to change one bit. Moving on to Section 2, Consistent Branding, featuring the abstract factory. We all know inconsistency is a massive problem. Have you ever launched a campaign or shipped a product where the components just didn't match? The inefficient way delivers these clashing variants that confuse and, frankly, anger your end users. But the abstract factory pattern solves this beautifully. It groups variants together. It basically guarantees that every output your business produces matches the exact same family style, completely seamlessly. Okay, imagine you're running a furniture shop. You sell chairs, sofas, and tables, but they come in modern, Victorian, and Art Deco styles. If a customer orders a modern sofa, you absolutely do not want to accidentally ship them a Victorian chair. It's a total aesthetic disaster. The abstract factory pattern tells us to explicitly declare distinct interfaces for our products and then dedicate specific production teams to specific variants. So one team only makes modern furniture, another team only makes Victorian. Your broader business just requests a furniture suite, and the dedicated factory ensures the customer always gets a cohesive, perfectly matched experience. Next up, Section 3, Modular Construction, using the builder pattern. I guarantee we've all experienced this inefficient monster, an operational process that has grown so massive with so many mandatory approvals for things you don't even need that it's just a tangled mess. 9 times out of 10, you aren't even using half the steps, but you still have to navigate the red tape. The builder pattern extracts that construction out of the chaos. It allows for step-by-step, highly modular assembly where you literally only use the pieces you actually need. Think about building a custom house. You don't have one single massive blueprint that covers every possible combination of wood, stone, pools, and porches all at once. That would be completely impossible to read. Instead, you have modular steps. You construct walls, install doors, build the roof, and then add the optional goodies. In business, you can use a director who oversees the workflow and a builder team that executes the specific steps. By simply changing the builder, the director can use the exact same underlying workflow to create either a simple, cozy cabin or a massive luxury palace with a swimming pool. It's clean, it's efficient, and it's highly modular. Section 4. Scaling templates, utilizing the prototype pattern. Setting up a new, complex project or an entire department from scratch takes immense resources. The inefficient way is trying to manually copy everything from the outside. But here's the catch. Often you can't even do that because certain critical data or processes are strictly private or hidden. The pattern way solves this hurdle by creating a prototype. This is a pre-built, fully configured template that actually knows how to safely copy itself. To put that into perspective, think of it kind of like biological cloning, specifically mitotic cell division. In a traditional industrial factory, a prototype is totally passive. It just sits there while external machines copy it. But in biology, the original cell actively acts as the prototype. It divides and takes an active role in safely forming a pair of identical cells, bringing all its internal hidden DNA right along with it. Your business template should be working the exact same way. This cloning blueprint requires a few specific parameters. It uses a single common interface. It copies over absolutely all values, and most importantly, that includes those hidden private fields that external copying almost always misses. This entirely eliminates the need to create dozens of dummy configurations just to kick off a project. What you ultimately get is a centralized prototype registry. It's an arsenal of instantly ready, perfectly cloned templates that your operations can deploy at a moment's notice. And finally, Section 5, Centralized Control, defined by the Singleton pattern. We obviously want things to be easily accessible to our teams, right? But chaotic global access means that any department can accidentally overwrite essential shared resources, like a master database. It's just highly unsafe. The Singleton pattern establishes absolute centralized control. It provides a strictly protected single instance. It acts as a gatekeeper that ensures only one true instance of a critical resource ever exists, even while allowing global access to it. There is actually a spectacular real-world example of this: the government. A country can have only one official government. It's a global point of access that clearly identifies the group in charge. No matter who the individuals are working inside it, there is only one true government. Your business needs that exact same unmistakable source of truth for your critical shared operations.
So here it is. This is your unified operational efficiency playbook. We've turned subclass instantiation into the factory method for adaptable logistics. We transformed families of related objects into the abstract factory for consistent branding. Step-by-step construction became the builder for modular customization. Object cloning is now the prototype for scalable templates. And single-instance global access is the Singleton for centralized departmental control. That's 5 incredible tools pulled straight from software engineering, ready to be deployed by you today.
I'll leave you with this final provocative thought to consider today. I want you to look really closely at your teams and your workflows tomorrow morning and ask yourself, are your business processes hard-coded to break the second things change, or are they dynamically designed to scale? Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer. I hope it gave you some absolutely game-changing insights into organizing your operations. Until next time, stay curious and keep learning.